Hi guys, in this video I will explain bubble sort sorting algorithm using Python programming language. At first I will write a program, the bubble sort, which is not the best one, and then we will try to increase it by decreasing the number of comparisons it makes to sort the array. First let's create a Python file. Then we will create an array called numbers, and here's our unsorted array. As you can see, numbers are not sorted, and our task is to write an algorithm, in this case the bubble sort, which will be sort the numbers of the array in ascending order. So for that we need the count of elements in our array, and for that we will use len function to get the length of numbers, and we will count the comparisons. So we need a variable for that, is equal to 0, and we also need to count the swaps, and another variable we will use for that. It's all for now. Let's write the loops for e in xrange. Use xrange instead of range function, always do that. We should move from the first element to this element, not to the last, but to the one behind the last element. The reason for that is the principle of the bubble sort. In bubble sort, we will take the current element first from the first, and then compare the element next to the current element, and if these two elements are not in the ascending order, then we will do swap operation. Otherwise we will move to next element and do the same operations. So in first case no swaps will be done, in second place no swaps, in third also no swaps, in fourth element, which is index is 3 by the way, we will do a swap operation because 99 is greater than 4. So we need to move to this element. So to do that we should have a variable for that, the last index, which is equal to count minus 1 to move to one element behind the last element. Last index. And in this loop we should have another loop to move on arrays elements in xrange 0 last index. As you can see, we move n-1 times n-1, which is n-1 squared. This is the efficiency of bubble sort algorithm in big O notation, which is n squared, which is bad. This means that if the number of our unsorted array will grow, the operations needed to sort this array will grow quadratically, which is bad. And to count the comparisons, we should write this line here, and then do our comparisons. If numbers g is greater than numbers, g plus 1, then we should do the swap. We need to change these two elements, places of these two elements. For that we will use temporary variable, which will keep the current value of numbers g. we need this not for keeping this value, because on the next line here we will overwrite the numbers g with the numbers g plus 1, and finally we will assign to numbers g plus 1 the number we kept in temp variable. So we swapped, and now we can print the array, and this will print the array every time a swap operation is made, so we will be able to see how things are happening. So Python bubble, this will print the array, and we will see how the array is being sorted. Let's increase the size of our array a little bit. Say we should have another 19. Let's not do this. Let's have 199. We need that. And run our program one more time. In the last line we see the sorted array. The elements are in ascending order. But here's an interesting thing about bubble sort. After the first pass of this loop, the main loop, the greatest element, which is 99 in our case, will for sure be in the last index of the array. So after that we shouldn't go all the way to the last index. We can decrease the last index by 1 every time this loop will end. So that will decrease the number of our comparisons. But first let's try to print out our comps variable. And let's count also the swaps. And also print the swaps. (324) comparisons and 44 swaps are made to sort this array. So we can decrease this number by doing these things. As I said, after each I loop iteration we can decrease the last index variable by 1, because the greatest element is being moved to the end of the array. So last index is equal to last index minus 1. And let's see if this works, if the array is being sorted and the number of comparisons is being decreased. The array is sorted and the number is decreased from 324 to 171, which is very cool, and we can move even further. As you can see, first 3 elements of our array is already sorted. They are in their correct places, but in current version of our program the loops are being iterated for these 3 elements, so we can avoid that. For that we will use a boolean variable and we will call it swapped. Firstly it will be turned off, and each time we will swap 2 elements which are not in ascending order, we will turn it on. Swapped is equal to true. And after the G loop we will check if the swapped variable is true, which means that array wasn't sorted, and turn it back off. But if the swapped variable is not true, is not turned on, that means the array is already sorted and we can break. We can quit the loop, stop the loop, because our array does not need to be checked anymore because it is sorted. And let's check if the number 171 will decrease. It does, and our array is sorted. Now we do 116 comparisons and our array is sorted. So this is it. If you have questions, please ask in comments and tell me a little bit about your experience and suggest topics for videos. Bye.